So as you guys have heard me say, I like to train pretty much every day. Do something every day, whether that's lifting or sprinting or jumping, throwing, walking. Again, it doesn't have to be balls to the wall every day. It probably shouldn't be balls to the wall, especially if you're just starting out. Ease yourself in and figure out where you're at. Let your body adapt and get ready and prepared for higher intensity stuff. And if you want to do stuff more often, you're gonna have to adjust volume. You have to adjust intensities and things like that. You should always be lifting with intent, but you don't always have to do a ton of stuff, because more is not always better. Yes, I think more movement in general is better, especially as you get older. I found that my body just feels better if I move every day, but that doesn't mean you have to squat heavy every single day or sprint every single day. There's ways to mix it up. You gotta have I like a little variety and changing things up, and that's what we're doing today. So today is kind of it's my movement day. So it's no weights. I just finished up a walk. I did my 5 minutes of pogo hops, the old Tommy John, just bounce around, did that. And for the next 20 minutes, we are just gonna crawl. We're gonna put 20 minutes on the clock, got a heart rate monitor on this. I use this as conditioning, kind of some aerobic conditioning. I hate running. Running is just boring to me. I don't find any real benefits for me. Like, I could do it if I wanted to. I could go out and run a 6-minute mile probably. I've done it in the past. I don't train for it, but it's not something that I enjoy. It's not something that I really care about. Yeah, I'll run a mile every once in a while, but I like this better. I'm just gonna put 20 minutes on the clock. I'm gonna crawl around, all different variations of crawling. No specific goals or anything like that specifically. Just let the body move, let the body flow. Crawl around 20 minutes. I got the heart rate monitor on, so I'm not gonna. It will get up in some of the variations, like the spinning variations. It can get pretty heart rate and get kind of jacked up. So again, I just use the monitor. I want to stick more in those the aerobic zone, zone 2 or whatever, zone 1, zone 2, if you want to call it that. But this is not to make me tired. It's to get working. It's to get movement in different variations. So we're going to do bear crawls. We're going to do Spider-Man or lizard crawls. We're going to do crab walks. We're going to do frog hops. We're going to do, I call them tornado twists. Just all these different crawling variations for 20 minutes. Rest as I need it. It's not just crawling 20 minutes non-stop. There'll be stops in there. There'll be some rest in there. Grab a drink of water. But it's a 20-minute running clock. And I don't know, try it out. It's fun. I like it. I enjoy it. It's better. Keeps me more engaged. Just turn something on the TV, get the red light going, and we crawl. After that, we're going to do about 5 minutes of handstand and tumbling. Again, just more movement based, more body weight, working on that gymnastic type stuff. Then after that, I'll probably go 5 minutes on the rings and finish up with just some isos, some mobility work for the my Achilles has been kind of bothering me, so it's probably some isos for those, some split isos, and just some spine shoulder movements to finish it up. But again, you don't have to do this is all kind of mobility. It's that mobility movement day, the human movement day, the animal movement day, letting the beast out inside. So 20 minutes on the clock. We're gonna crawl. We're going to do 5 minutes of tumbling and handstands. We're going to do gymnastics type things on the rings for 5 minutes, and hanging, that type of stuff on the rings, and then just some mobility work to finish it up. Some iso holds to kind of get everything feeling good before we get going on the day. And then again, that's a way to challenge yourself, train. It's different. It's not, you don't see a lot of people doing it. It's good to see it. It is getting more popular with crawling. But most people don't crawl anymore. They can't crawl. Like, put an adult on there and they can't crawl. Kids can't even crawl, which is pretty embarrassing. That should be a fundamental that is taught in Phi Ed class, so they can, because you're gonna build shoulder strength, you're gonna build core strength, you're gonna build leg strength, you're gonna build just body awareness, coordination, just overall strength. But strong wrists, strong hands, strong elbows, shoulder mobility, spine mobility. So it's kind of a powerful training tool, training stimulus to use. So that's why I like crawling so much. But again, this is kind of my conditioning, my aerobic conditioning day, kind of a movement day. I don't know what to call it, human day, animal day, whatever you want to call it. I just like this kind of fun. Get away from the weights and all the stuff and the sprinting and the super high intensity stuff. For a day or two, I'll do this maybe once, twice a week, and just let everything move. Let the body move naturally, rather than just doing some strict mobility drills. You put them in movements and let the body move how it's supposed to, and how your body's supposed to. Your body's not going to move exactly like mine in a bear crawl or a Spider-Man crawl. So let the body move. So check it out. Here we go. So yeah, we just break it down, turn on the red light. I like to get some little red light exposure, especially in the mornings, and just start unleashing our inner beast, our animal inside us. We are humans, we are animals. So start moving like one. Get on the ground. Getting on the ground, I think, is one of the best ways to just improve overall movement, overall wellness, improve shoulder stability, mobility, any aches and pains, get rid of those. They'll help the shoulders move, help the spine move, help the hips, the feet, the ankles. It's all good. And just getting in contact with that ground, because you're going to be on the ground at times, whether you're playing with the kids, whether you fall, and you got to be able to work on how your body kind of works with the ground, works against the ground. Get off the ground. That's important throughout life, not just being an athlete, but just moving. So we do things like bear crawls. You saw the first one. You could do the more static one for stability. I like to get the spine a little bit more involved. Then we go in different directions. Side to side is always important, because you're not just going to go one direction. Shout out to the band One Direction. You're not just going to go one way. So go laterally, go forward and backward. Crab walks are another good one, just kind of the opposite. I like these for getting a little bit of stretch in the front side of your shoulders, getting some more there. And this has helped me kind of get back from that wrist sprain. It still nags me a little bit. It's been probably 2 or 3 months now. It's just one of those stupid, annoying things. You can work around it, work through it. And these have kind of helped, just giving the body impact against the ground. So again, even with the crab walks, you go forward, backwards, side to side. It's just exposing the body to new ways to move that it doesn't move, that maybe you haven't done since you were a 5-year-old kid. And yes, maybe I look dumb doing this, but I don't care. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's better than just, I'm just going to go lift and power lift or be a bodybuilder. The stuff takes some of the principles and some of the things from that with the heavy lifting and some pump work with the bodybuilding type stuff. But that stuff is boring by itself. And it doesn't make you athletic. It makes you slow and kind of the show, but not the go. And I want the go as well as the show. Then we get into one, probably my favorite. I like the Spider-Man lizard crawl, whatever you want to call it. I think of it as Spider-Man climbing up the building. Just watch the shoulders, the shoulder blades there, just the movement, letting the whole body, the spine, the chest, the shoulders, the hips, the knees all move and syncing it up. A lot of times I see this with people when I get them crawling, is they're so uncoordinated, they can't do it. And it's not just, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. It's about figuring out and learning how your body specifically moves and what you need to do, the cues, the things you need to know to help your body move how it's supposed to be. It's figuring it out. It's not just telling. It's showing. It's giving them examples and letting them figure it out. Giving them a problem, let them solve it. Duck walks, another good one for the hips. Yes, not necessarily crawling, but it's kind of that squatted walk, really letting the hips, the knees move. Most people can't even get down in this low of a squat, which is an issue. I think everyone should be able to get low in a squat. And again, you might not be there right away. That's totally fine. We all got to figure out where we're at and work from that spot to get to where we want to be. But this is a great one for the hips, for the knees, for the feet, for the toes. All, again, working together, syncing in coordination to move like a human is supposed to be. And part of that human movement is like a animal. Again, these aren't, take rests if I need them. Again, I kept the heart rate monitor on. My heart rate was typically like low 100s to 130, 140. Got higher, 140, close to probably 150 on the, once you'll see the tornado crawls, I call them.
kind of where you're rotating. Even with these frog hops too, these can get up if you start going faster. Even in bear crawls, you can go faster. But again, I'm not working on speed. I just want to be in that aerobic zone, that quote unquote that zone 2 or whatever you want to call it. I think a lot of that zone cardio stuff gets overblown and it's overhyped. You don't need a heart rate monitor to do this stuff. Just do it, because the heart rate monitor it's good to kind of monitor and make sure you're not going too high if you want it, if that. But again, if you're not going to do too much harm, I don't think, if you're going too high. I was trying these ones that I don't know what to call them. Like I can't think of the guy's name on Instagram, but I follow him. But he's doing these explosive ones out on the beach. I don't have the beach, but I'm just trying to kind of like a frog, but kind of like a cat pouncing, so to speak. Those ones, yeah, you can see kind of the wrist still bothers that one, but again, those are fun. I did them again the next week. This was from a week or another day last week, and they were much better. Here's the ones that can kind of get, if you start going fast on these, you can get the heart rate up a little bit. But again, these are great for shoulder, just that overall rotation and syncing everything up and getting everything to move. Like, you might not be good at it. So what? Do it anyway. Who cares? Make fun of yourself. I like to make fun of myself all the time. It's that self-deprecating humor that I think is good, because you're not going to be good at everything. We suck at a lot of things, but you do stuff to get better at it. So, again, this is one of my favorite days. My favorite cardio. I don't like running. My legs take a lot of high impact, as much as it is from jumping and sprinting and dropping and all that stuff, heavy lifting, that I don't need to, I don't get that runner's high. I don't find it fun at all. I find it kind of boring, and I think there's better ways for me personally, like this, to do cardio, to do low intensity conditioning. Whereas running, I don't really think is lower intensity. It was kind of that medium, middle of the ground. Tempos every once in a while, I'll do some of those. But my favorite conditioning is this type of stuff, and then playing sports. That's conditioning for me. So again, changing directions, crawling different zigzag patterns. So it's not all just straightforward, straight backward, side to side. It's every direction you can think of. Just exposing, again, that body to different movements, different ranges of motion, different directions. So it's just going to make you a more robust, complete human, a complete athlete, if you're doing this stuff and starting using this stuff in your training. So that's why I do it. I suggest you do it. Again, I just play around with different things. Another one, I don't know if I have it in this, but some gorilla holds. Here's some monkey. These look crappy. I got to get better. Got to get that butt way up and swing a little bit more. That one was better. But you're kind of swinging side to side, these monkey swings. That's a fun one. I kind of get those legs up, kind of a partial handstand. These ones kind of half-assed there, so not the best effort there on my part. Then we get into our rolls. So another thing I do pretty much every day is some sort of rolly rolls, whether it's a somersault, reverse somersault, cartwheels, handstand tumbles. Just another way to get your body to work on the ground. You could do it on the concrete, on the floor. I like to put a mat down just to save a little bit of carpet burn, carpet rash. Concrete beat down again, but I enjoy these. I just finally started doing them maybe a year or two ago, and really have become part of my everyday movement plan. Spinal health, hip health. You just got to make sure you don't hit your head, especially with someone like me who's had concussions. Sometimes you do it too fast and you hit the back of your head, and you can kind of feel that daze, that feeling there. But again, work on these. I think they're great, again, for overall body health and just interacting, getting up off the ground, even these shoulder rolls where you're going over kind of the one shoulder, and just kind of an athletic movement. If you get pushed, you fall. You can easily catch yourself, roll out of it. So just another great variation, another fun way to make training more fun and more challenging, and just move yourself forward into being an athlete for life. And then handstand, something I've really been working on over the last month or so. So I'm getting better at them. As you can see, I can finally get a little bit of stand, a few seconds at least. Whereas before I could barely even get up. You start with a wall, use the wall variation to walk your feet up, or even just like at a box or a chair to kind of not full, I don't know, a half pike, I think is what it's called. And then kind of work your way up till you build that strength. And then finally you're able to balance a little bit. And even balance, if you fall forward, fall to the side, and then fall and learn to roll out of it too. I think that's a way to save yourself from breaking your neck. So again, handstands are great. Overhead strength, shoulder mobility. That's what we have for you today. Thanks for watching.